Hello people of my mother's blog. Today I'm going to do for you a book review of The Knight's Assassins. Two things before we start. This is my first video ever, so it's probably not going to be the best of qualities. And number two, yes, I am single. The Knight's Assassin is a revenge story based a little bit after the Crusades about a girl named Zane looking to find and kill the man who murdered her mother. Zane lives in a small village with her mother where they are both outcasts. Why are they outcasts, you might be asking? Maybe because they believe her mom's a witch and she's a demon child. One day, a couple of knights ride in on horseback, one of these knights being Guy de Molay. Guy's a bad dude, let's just say that. Guy and his band of knights ride up to, you guessed it, Zane's house. Guy then proceeds to accuse her mother of being a witch, burn her at the stake, and make Zane watch. And when Zane has nothing left to lose and is about to take her own life, a man stops her with an offer. This man is Junaid, or Junaid, I don't really know how to say it, but he offers Zane a chance to kill Guy. All she has to do is join the assassins. The assassins aren't really cool with people of that days. They're kind of just like the band of misfits that nobody really liked. Yeah, they weren't good guys. But as you might have guessed, she said yes. Now, this book is split up into two parts, the first of which being her training and initiation into the assassins, and the second being her actually going into the castle in disguise to assassinate Guy. I'm trying to refrain from spoilers, so I'm only going to briefly talk about the plot and more focus on the characters within each part, because they're a thing that I think the author did really well. Now, in the first part, we see her training, and she is being trained by none other than Junaid. Besides being her trainer, Junaid acts as the father figure, mentor, and otherwise assassin commander. Junaid is what I'd like to call the strong but silent type, but underneath that hard exterior you can really see that he does genuinely care for Jane. But in no way does that affect his training abilities. He's always trying to put Zane and her powers to the limit. By the way, did I mention she has powers? I don't think I did. I'm not very good at this. After you're Junaid, you meet Aisha, who trains Zane how to be more ladylike and how to blend in with the castle people and stuff. She acts as a softer side after a particularly hard training session. Up next is Bashar, who is really one of the best that the assassins have got. He acts as a partial antagonist throughout the book. He's always trying to get Zane kicked off the assassins or get her killed or something, just little things like that. So after about a year of training, Zane has finally been initiated into the assassins and is ready to go kill Guy. This brings us to the second part. Now, Zane has to infiltrate the Franks, or the French, by means of disguise. Her disguise is a handmaiden to one Marguerite of Ibelin. Marguerite is probably one of my favorite characters. Not so much as because of her personality, but more because of how she changes Zane. Because up until this point, she's been all like, oh, I hate men are nasty, she just hates people in general. Marguerite is there to show Zane a nicer side to things, like nicer side to the Franks that are there, to the Templars, there to show a nicer side to just everything. And she does. And throughout the book she makes Zane care for her in just such a way that it can only be described as they were besties. Now I'm no longer going to talk about the plot or characters to yet again refrain from spoilers. So now I'm going to talk about the things I did and didn't like. First thing I liked, the character Zane herself. Zane is not the damsel in distress that has been portrayed by some young adult books. Her personality is shaped by the things she goes through and the people that she's around, which I've heard makes for good character development. She's also pretty funny. Her dry humor gives her a really snarky, sassy, McFrassy tone to her. Yes, her humor may be a little bit dated, but I'm sure if I was living in that time, I'd be peeing my pants with laughter. Second thing I liked was the setting. I liked the setting because I knew the area, I knew what it was kind of like, I knew what it was about, knew where the cities were and stuff. But if you don't really have an idea of what that is, you may not appreciate it as much. Now, I gotta talk about the things that I didn't like, unfortunately. In no way is this a bad book. These are just things that I feel need to be said. Number one is the whole demon power thing. Throughout the book, Zane is supposed to have some super demon power that gives her super strength or something. She kind of just presents this thing to you, and there's nothing really talking about it, and there's like no history or lore about it, and it's just, I feel like she could have left it out. The second thing is like the culture and the religion. She didn't do a very good job of explaining like the beliefs that they have and the cultures that they do, and I got lost because I have no idea what any of the culture or religion is she's talking about, or any of the different rituals or stuff. So yeah. But the stuff she did explain, like the very few stuff she did explain, she did wonderfully. So I think that's pretty much it. Nothing really I didn't like about the book. I loved it. So, without further ado, I'd recommend this book to anybody. Well, not a younger friend, because there's some parts in the book. But yeah, it's great. I'd definitely pick a copy up whenever you're able to.